Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make US A2 or UK A6 cards. So you'll get two from one sheet of your A4 or US letter. And you can use pattern cardstock or you can use plain paper, etc. But if you're using pattern cardstock, I've got some tips coming up for you. Now what a vertical fold back is, so basically a fold back non-vertical landscape would be like this. Okay, so you're just folding the card in half, fold it back halfway, and you're going to do exactly the same for vertical. The only difference is with the vertical ones, you need a stopper at the top. So I've used like a band here and a butterfly, and then you just pop the stopper in like that, and that's how it's delivered as well. So nobody is going to have to work out how to do it. And then it just stands vertically. So on the side it looks like that, and it's just a different way of displaying your cardstock, rather than just a fold back. And it's nice because it stays together. You've got somewhere on the back where you can add either a really nice insert, or you can do your own stamps, or just happy birthday basically with your pens. So there's a lot of ways that you can use these. Now this is a vertical one and this is a landscape one, and it's going to depend on your pattern. So on this one, can you see there's hearts? So the paper had to be this way around, and I'll go through that with you in a minute. With this one, all I've done is just put glue just either side of this little topper and left this bit open. So your topper just slides in there. So again, it's delivered like this, and it does fold flat for posting, which is really, really good, because it's getting very expensive for postage. And it, again, when the recipient gets it, they just stand it on the shelf. You've got somewhere on the back to write. If you wanted to, you could write inside there as well. I'm going to show you a way to do it with easy maths as well. But the principle behind it, if I just take, so if you're going to do vertical ones, all you're going to do is cut your cardstock, either A4 or your 8.5 by 11, just in half. So I've got A4, so it's 4 1/8 or 10.5 centimeters. So if you're doing a vertical card, you're just going to fold it in half this way, and then you're going to fold it back. Now the reason I'm showing you this is it's actually going to be quite important to the size of the topper that you use. So we're just going to make it with a paper template. So make yourself paper templates. So that's your vertical card. Now this would not be your landscape card because this is different size. You could fold it up and go, wow, it works like that. But it's better to have the real thing so you know exactly what you're doing. So this one we're going to cut in half again. So this is an A4, so I'm just going to cut it down, and I usually cut it at 5 7/8. It's very close. So we're just going to move that for a second. I will need it again in a minute. So with the vertical landscape, same thing, but you're folding it up this way, like this, and then you're folding it back down again towards you. And then you've got your vertical. And it's really easy because that's it. It's not going to stand up because you haven't got your topper supporting it, which is what's keeping it up. This one won't stand up either. They're just going to fall over. Until you get those toppers on them, they're not going to stand up. So just to show you, so something like this, it's got pot of tea written on it. So this would have to be this shape, okay? You would have to make it this way. If you make it that way, the pot of tea is going to go sideways. So you would be using the landscape one. So you're cutting your cardstock in half, and obviously that's a really great piece to do whatever you want to. You don't have to make another one of these. You can use it elsewhere. You could even cut it in half and make another 2 cards if you're using card blanks. But if we use this bit here, can you see that if I put, let's get rid of that, so the fold's on there, that there is going to be folded at this point. So you're going to lose the top of the teapot and the pot of tea. So you don't want to be using cardstock that's got a deep pattern on it like that. The ones it suits are borders and things like that. Now this one, the pattern's definitely going this way, so you're going to make vertical ones. You're going to be doing this, and you can see all that border is going to stay on the base of this little section here. So that's a perfect piece of cardstock to use. So just go through your cardstock, if you're doing it with paper kits, and then just decide what ones you like. So let's have a look. So we've got these two, like I say, with the toppers. So let's just go ahead and make some, and then I'll go through a couple of other things at the end as well. I'm just going to move all this out of the way. I made a right old mess. So let's do it for real. Now I've chosen this piece. Okay, now I've chosen this piece for a reason, because you look at it and it's got the bow down here which suits the landscape. So you could do a landscape one like that, and then you've got a really plain piece there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way and use it vertically. And then we're not going to make a landscape one on the other side. What I'm going to do is show you how you can do something different, like another fold back is a landscape. And I've got a bit of dog ears, that just means it's bent. Can you see I've bent the corners of this? So 10.5 is halfway on A4. So we're just going to cut it in half like that. So you've got two pieces. Put that one to the side, we're using this one. And then we have to do our folds. Now because it's cardstock, I'm definitely going to be using a scoreboard. So just grab that scoreboard in from my scoring tool, which was here. How does this happen to me? Just go and find my... Oh, it's on there. Hilarious. Still got jet lag. What can I say? That's my excuse. So, what I'm going to do with this one is fold it in half. Sure, we need to fold... We're not doing that. We're doing that one in a minute. We're doing the big bit. My word, Sarah. Get it together. Let's grab the big bit. Okay, so I'd put it underneath the scoreboard. Of course I did. So what we're going to do now, mathematically with A4, it's a pain to make a quarter of an A4. But it's closest to 12, so we'll just go 3 and 6. And then if you're worried about it fitting in your envelope, just grab an A6 envelope and just trim the top after you've done it. So what we're just going to do is, like I say, just do a 3 and a 6. Like that. And then we're going to fold it in half, and you can see this is too long, and fold it back. This is definitely going to be fine to go in the envelope because we know that's shorter than an A6. Now if you wanted it to be exact, you could go 2 7/8 and 5 3/4 if you wanted to, but because it's folded it doesn't really matter. But if you want it to be exact, then work out halfway and then quarter of the way and do a fold it quarter, fold it half. That's all you need to do, 2 folds in this. Now while we're here, because I've got my scoreboard here, I'm just going to use this one here, and what I'm going to do is, because the bow needs to be there, and the other thing to notice with these landscape ones, if you want the border to be at the bottom, then make sure that your quarter way score is done with the border on the left. If you want it to be at the top, so if that was folded down, you wanted that to be at the top, then you would have it the other way around. So just bear that in mind. Now with this one, I'm going to have the bow on the right, and what I'm going to do is, again, just do 3 and 6. Or I could do 2 7/8 and 5 3/4. It doesn't matter, but I'll do 3 and 6 because that's what we did on the other one. 3 and 6. Fold it over like this. Give it a score. And fold it back. So we've got a traditional fold back, not vertical. That's just a traditional one, just to use up that piece of card. And you can see the bow looks nice. It's on that side. So, you know, don't think that you're ruining your cardstock by cutting half of it away and then you can't make another vertical. It doesn't have to be a vertical, but with the right cardstock you can make 2 verticals out of it. Now because this is quite springy, I'm going to really reinforce these score lines here and here, like that. They're nice and tight. Now you take your topper, and this is another thing where these come in really handy, because if you've got a great big circular topper, it's not going to fit on there. Now you can see that one fits lovely, so it's going to be a really great size, but obviously if you have a bigger topper it may not. Also if it's too small and you have to put it right at the edge, like you've got really tiny, that's not going to work either, because by the time you've put your topper at the back it's not going to hold it. So get a reasonably sized topper. You can see these are all pretty much not giving much border either side. This one's probably got 1 inch, but you can see that, you know, you need to have a decent sized topper. So we can fix our topper onto here. Now then you need to realise what stopper you're going to use. Now I'm going to use 2 stoppers on this one, and again she's looking frantically for what she's done with everything. Just bear with. Okay, so what I'm going to be using is a topper, and I've just put just a little bit on the side, because you've got to remember the topper that it needs to slide underneath. But this is actually going to be raised upon this bow that I've got. So we're going to just centralise that onto this bow that I've made. Make sure the bow's round the right way. Just pop that on to the middle of that. Okay, so that's just on there, and this is going to be the stopper here. So you need to realise where your bow's going to go and where your topper's going to go before you glue down the top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tape just along the top ends of this bow. So just on the edges here, I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape. So let's just grab that. I'll use this one. finger lift tape, but only at the top sections here, like that. Going to fold it flat bit, the bow flat a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's just along the top there because we don't want it to ruin the topper, and then we can try, might put some glue in there if it's not enough. Just take that off. So now I'm going to lay the topper in first, the stopper if you like. So I'm going to centralise that up to the top and pop that on there. And then there's only tape at the very top of that. That's all that's holding it on. This is all open. I can get my fingers in there or down the bow. So we've only got that holding it on. Then place your topper inside of that so you can see it's going to stop there. And we can puff that back up again in a minute. I've flattened it, but we can puff it back up before we post it. It'll go flat in the post anyway, so I might as well just flatten it really. But like I say, it's holding it in place. So you can push your topper up until it's like that's the maximum it can go. So we're just going to put tape just along this bottom section here, so less than halfway probably. So we won't go silly. We just put 3 bits on here like this. And then we can just remove that tape and then pop this on the front. We're going to slot that into there. Tape to come loose. Slot that into there. You want to make sure that you don't, it's better to put the top bit in first, because if you go too high at the bottom it won't slide in, if you know what I mean. So just get that one in there like so. Went wonky donkey, didn't I? Like that. Now you can see that that's in there. It will flip right out. It will come out. But the recipient's going to get it closed like this. And then when they just need to just open that up a little bit at the front and stand it up. So you can see it's a stood up topper again, which is just great. So a little doggy one there. So that little leftover piece that I had where I did the fold back, there was a kitten topper. So again, you can just use that up. Pop that onto there, put it on. Should we just do it quickly? This is not what the video is about, obviously. We're talking about vertical, but this is just showing you a way of just using up those little bits that you had left over and you're worried that it may not suit. You've ruined your card, wasted your card, but you haven't. Because you can do anything with the other half. If it doesn't suit making another vertical, then this is just a normal fold back. So we can pop that on there. Try and get it quite square like that, and then we can add bows and things to that. So you've got like a standard fold back card. So you haven't wasted it. You've got, still got your 2 A6 cards. We've got our verticals here and we've got a horizontal. Right, let me show you how to make a horizontal now as well. Just grab the things. So this is the horizontal one we're going to do. So again, we're going to go back to our template, which looks like this, to make sure we're not ruining, you know, any pattern. So with this one, I've got 2 quite generic patterns. So this one could go either way. So that's really good. I can make a landscape, I can make a portrait or whatever out of that one. And I've got my beautiful square topper. I only have to use the inside if it's too big. You can see it's probably going to be too big that way, but it would be fine if we were doing it the other way. So just measure your toppers, but I think we'll go for this beautiful like California poppy one here because it's a portrait, definitely a landscape scene. So we'll take this half because that half can be great as a background for anything else in your projects. So we're going to cut this one at about 5 7/8. That's about halfway of A4. We'll put that one to the side and we can use that for another project. That's all I need with the cutting, but then, like I say, because it's cardstock, I am going to have to use my scoreboard. And this one, again, is 1/2 and 1/4, so you can measure it exactly, put pencil lines, etc. But this is 4 1/8. Oh, I'm not going to do the maths on this. What I'm going to do is 8, 4, 2 and 4. You can see we're taking off a little bit at the top of that poppy, so we could do 2 1/4 and then 4 1/2. So it would make this a little bit shorter, but I don't think that would matter. So let's do that. Let's do 2 1/4 and 4 1/2, just as I can show you. So we can fold it over, and you can see if this was a card blanket, it's way off. But because we're folding back, that's fine. So we can do the fold back on that, and it's going to be a bit shorter than the normal A6, which is fine because it's going to fit in the envelope. So as long as it fits in the envelope, we're winning. And we didn't want to ruin that beautiful poppy at the front there, although I'm probably going to cover it up anyway. And you can see you've got your lovely poppies at the back. Again, not going to stand up until you put your toppers, etc. on there. Very springy card. Thick card. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at the sheet and see what we've got. So again, we can pop that on there and we can see that would fit, but will we have enough room to put toppers? Well, we could go sideways with the toppers, so let's pull it out. But I'll only use the centre on this one, unless I wasn't worried about it, you know, being bigger in the envelope if we're just going to put a side one on. But we'll just take out that centre piece there. Just going to use this one if it wants to come out. There we go. So we can put this one just over here, and then it's not covering up all of that beautiful poppy design. So we can put that half on there. Like I say, though, we need to do toppers first. So we could use a couple of toppers here because we've got these little circle pieces here. We've got that lovely little section there. We've got To My Dearest Friend. That's really nice, isn't it? Let's use that. So To My Dearest Friend. So what I'm saying is you could pop that at the back. Because we've gone bigger, let's get the bit of, so that we know this will fit in the envelope. So we can pop that on there and that'd be fine. That'll still go in the envelope. You could even cut it down a little bit smaller if you wanted to, but you need it to be around the back and you need it to be so that it's overlapping there. So if you're a little bit worried, oh, that's going to be too big for my envelope, don't use that one. Go for a smaller one. We've got this little one here as well. Let's just get this one. I think this is a little bit smaller. Just a nice little poppy design. So you could do that because that can overhang at the top, that's fine. And then we can capture this one here. So we can have it like that. And we could just trap. So you're just trapping that. So we're only going to put glue on here, or I would use glue because it's only a little bit catching. So if you raise that up, it's easier for it to escape, if you see what I mean. So just get that flat on there. Let's move this white bit of paper because that's not part of the design. So we're okay with it going out. Obviously it's a measure, but we know that if that's at the bottom, and then decide where you want which way you want the poppy to go. I think off centre a little bit like that. We can come over and capture it and just put some glue on this side. So I'll just put a bit of tape there actually from this side. So you can make them, you know, more complicated for yourself if you like. That's fine as well. So putting tape on this side. To think, rethink. Brain's not engaging. Off you come, we can take it all. There's only a tiny little bit of tape on there in the moment because if we go wrong, we can whip it off quickly. Let's pop that there. Make sure my tape's not going over the topper. Make sure it's not going over the fold because the fold needs to open. Just pop that down there and you can see it's holding it. So it will hold it when this is glued in place. Yeah, you can see that you've got that grip on it there. So let's pop that on to prove. So I just want the bottom half, halfway at the bottom. Make sure this is the way it's going to be. So I have wishes at the bottom. Try and keep it straight. Let's put some tape on the bottom of this one. But I just think it's like, and it's nice to receive a different type of card, but also so it's not too difficult for the recipient to work out how to put them together. Sometimes you send a card in the post and then you go round and it's like, yeah, that's not how I intended that one to look. This is pretty obvious. So again, we're going to make sure that that's going in okay, not getting trapped. Make sure the birthday wishes is straight. Pop it on there. Let's see if it stands up. So it does. It stands up just fine. If it didn't and you were worried about it, you could add like another little topper over here. There is a little light in this one particularly. There is another little. Let's pop it out. Come on. Out you come. Just like a little poppy there. So you could just capture it there as well, so it doesn't fall away. So with that one, I would probably raise it and I'd just put a little foam dot. I've got some little ones here actually. Put a little foam dot. So I think I want that one to go probably like that. I'll just pop a foam dot there. That is a little foam dot. And you can just capture that corner, look, with another poppy. So it's definitely not going anywhere now, but it also comes out. So that's the main thing. It does come out if people try to open it. You don't want it to get wrecked. So they slot back in. Got somewhere nice to write on the back. It overhangs, but it will still fit in your envelope, because envelopes are bigger than what we've made here, but it definitely fits on an A6 card base. So that's how you do it, guys. So I hope that's useful. And you can see we've made quite a few of these, and they're really simple and quick to do. They're also nice and frugal, which is really good, because, you know, this day and age we want to save money, don't we? So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.